Hey,
we're playing Silent Hill with the lights on because Spencer's too scared.
Hey.
Oh,
No.
Brady cat!
The lights are on.
We can turn it off right after this part because I just have some notes written down.
No.
Trying to deliver you the best experience. So, one thing I didn't mention last time. I have not watched, while I'm playing, I have not watched any cutscenes, so we'll see if they're as crazy as I remember.
By the way, I started a save file and played it for like 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh god, these controls.
Dude,
like,
I told you, it's tough.
For tank controls, like
It's pretty
Resident Evil plays 1-to-1 and it's fine, but this one there's like a little bit of delay, and man.
This is Dr. Kaufman. He's a character.
No, I can't even see on account of like how bright the lights are around the TV.
Well, here.
Dude, did he just shoot you?
He literally just shot.
Stop. Don't shoot.
Too late for
Wait,
that.
I'm not here to fight. My name is Harry Mason,
Dude, that
and this
shot
time on
has to be
vacation.
Like in
Thank God, another human.
Yeah, like, clearly he's not been shot.
Do you work here?
I'm Dr. Michael Kaufman. I work at this hospital.
Calf.
So maybe you can tell me what's going on.
I really can't say. I was taking a nap in the staff room. When I woke up, it was like this.
Napping on the job, that's what happens.
Everyone seems to have disappeared. And it's snowing out this time of year. Something's gone seriously wrong.
Also, Kaufman's theme is
Did you
pretty
see
cool.
those monsters? Have you ever seen such aberrations? Ever even heard of such things?
Not like
You and
how.
I both know creatures like that don't exist.
Dude, it's such weird, like, dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen a little girl anywhere? I'm looking for my daughter.
I see him 6.
She's only 7. Short, black hair.
She's missing. I'm sorry.
I like looking at their
With all
hands
those
move very
monsters around,
slightly.
I highly doubt that she's...
Literally shaking.
Kaufman sucks.
Sorry. I didn't mean to alarm you.
Anywho.
Sorry I shot you too.
She's here with you.
She died 4 years ago. Now it's just me and my daughter.
A man raising a daughter? Get out of here.
I see. I'm sorry.
Anywho.
Well,
Well,
off to work.
I'd better be going.
Why does he have a brief?
I like how
I
they.
can't just sit around here.
I like how they have no reason for like. I would just be like, oh god, a human. Let's get out of here together.
Yeah,
right?
let's help each other, please. Well, gotta go to work.
So that's a
Takes
hell-
his briefcase.
That's a hell of a thing. So, we're about to be going through the hospital. The hospital is a pretty cool part of the game. If you didn't know exactly what you're doing, which luckily I probably do, it could be a very long part. Luckily, since we know what we're doing, it shouldn't be so long. So we're gonna get the best thing in the world. The hospital map.
Hey.
So something very important is coming up soon. And this
Looking
game,
at the
so
map a bunch?
this game has this game has 4 different endings, and to get the best ending, in fact, to get one of the 2 best endings, you need to do something very specific, and we're gonna be doing it right now.
Dude, we just stopped playing Panzer Dragoon, and these frames, it looks so buttery smooth compared to Panzer Dragoon's like 20 FPS.
Yeah, it really does. So we got the hospital basement map. We're getting the hospital basement key. All par for the course. If you remember from last time, this is normal Silent Hill. Now the big thing that we're doing, we're going next door.
Right.
This is so huge. If you don't do this, you literally, and I'm not joking. Sometimes I joke about RNG. We got this plastic bottle, right? In order to get one of the 2 best endings, you absolutely need to get this particular item and use it later. We'll see that next part. Anyway, so you go into here. This is the doctor's like office. You go in here and you go around the corner and you see glass vial lies shattered. It's not just broken. It's like someone slashed on purpose. Okay. Well. All right. Well, I guess what we could do is we could try scooping it up a little, and we will. Now, what have we here? What have we here? It's red liquid found in the hospital director's room, and I guess even though
That doesn't seem to make sense to me, but okay.
you absolutely need it, it's so key. Although it's not like necessary to beat the game, it's necessary to beat the game with a good ending. Now, Oop. I pressed the wrong damn button. Actually, didn't mean to do it. When talking about endings in this game, even there's 4 endings. There's good plus, and there's bad plus. Bad's really bad. Bad plus is decently bad. Good is kind of bad.
Is bad as like Clock Tower ending E?
Yeah, bad is as bad as Clock Tower ending E. Bad is like there's nothing to it. So we just turn on the generator. Now we have power to the elevator. We're gonna go to. There's nothing else to do on floor 1, so we're gonna go to floor 2. There's only one exit. Oh, the lock's jammed. Okay. Well, let's try floor number 3 because there was nothing else we could do there. So we're gonna go to floor 3. Yeah. Thank this based TV with its subwoofers. Anyway, so we go here. There's one way to go. The lock's jammed. Okay, what the heck do we do? Because we went to floor 1, 2, and 3. And
well, I don't know.
Nothing in the
asking
basement.
us?
So let's just get.
Oh.
Was that there last time?
What?
Floor 4?
That's.
Alright, let's go to it.
You literally got the floor 4 RNG.
So what happens is you like go through and eventually you go to each floor. It's triggered by jamming both those doors. And then 4th floor appears and you're like, cool. So you go here. Well, there's a minor cutscene.
Of course it's...
You see this girl, who you're not sure who it is, going into a very blurry antique shop. And you're like...
A very blurry.
Alright. So... One of the best parts I like about this game is when you go to do the map and it's like, yeah, I don't have the map of this place, and you're like, okay, so we're on floor 4. If you just heard that, the door locked. It's locked. None of these doors will work. You go in here, and well, it's a little worse now. Now there's no light, and it locks again, and you're like, cool. So your only way is to go down, and wouldn't you believe it, there's some stuff going on.
So did you just switch into the other world?
Pretty much,
randomly?
yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. So we're in the other world. There's going to be bad guys and all that.
At least it didn't have to do a very cryptic puzzle to get to the other world.
So our big thing to do in the hospital is to get these 4 plates. That's the majority of the hospital. So they're all relatively easy if you know where you're going. The bad guys are nurses and doctors, and you don't really want to have to fight them if you don't have to. I also want to double check to make sure. Yeah, we're good on all.
Oh, like regular nurses and doctors, like nothing weird about them.
Nothing weird about them.
Right.
I love this.
Oh, this music.
So I've been pretty much practicing on like very low volume just because kids.
This is terrifying.
And this is terrifying. So having this music makes it 1,000 times worse. So we just got a blood pack. We'll be using that in a second. Now this part I always mess up.
Oh my gosh, look at this nurse. Oh.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah, the nurses have like these incredibly
Yes!
huge boils on their back, and it looks
gross.
So here's the second one. Now, unfortunately, leaving here is not going to be fun.
Now, leaving here is going to be awesome because you leave.
Yep. Okay, that's actually really good. That's one of the hardest parts in this hospital. So we're gonna walk over here, and we're gonna go down to the 2nd floor, and then our quest to get the other 2 things is going to continue. We're gonna go out here. There's gonna be some more nurses. We're gonna get an item key for later. And I'm not really gonna mess around. There's like 3 or 4 times where I just don't mess around because at this point I skipped so many enemies that I'm pretty good on ammo. And obviously Silent Hill, we talked about it before. I mean, that's your goal, is to like skip enemies if you can. Now here's a really cool mini puzzle. You go here and there's these weird things. Now you see that there's that little blood thing that they're like kind of like going towards. So what do? We use the blood pack.
Alright.
We throw it to the side, and because if you go there, I don't know if it's an auto death or if it just hurts you or what, but now you can grab this plate.
Is it a time?
I don't think so. I think that they just eat that forever.
occupied.
Yeah.
That's because you can't pick up another blood pack, so it'd be like, oh, I'm screwed.
Yeah. It makes sense for us. It's not like you can go back and get another blood pack.
That's the one fun thing about adventure games from back in the day. It'd be like, well, you missed your chance.
You're
Might
stuck.
as well start from a load.
So, on the 1st floor, for whatever reason, the enemies are doctors instead of nurses, because the doctors...
What are you trying to say?
I actually don't... oop, that was the wrong door.
I'm pretty sure the first floor to the hospital is like the least intensive, so it's probably like doctors doctors are incompetent.
So we actually have... That's weird. There's usually like a weird sound effect when you walk in there. RNG. So we have all 4 things, actually. So we are going to the... Yeah, if you know exactly where you're going and just skip everything else, it's really not that long. So we're going to go to the 2nd floor.
If you cheat.
Huh?
If you cheat.
I mean, I guess if you know what you're doing. So if we go in here, there's a bunch of hints in this hallway where it tells you exactly what to do with this puzzle. It's very complicated, involving poetry again. In fact, like, here's a part of it. Sky, it's telling you like the colors that's coming up. Sky on a sunny day, tangerines that are bitter, lucky 4-leaf clover, violets in the garden, dandelions, and unavoidable sleeping time, and liquid flowing from a wrist, which is red. So that shows you all these different colors, and that if all you have to do is follow clockwise like the different colors of these. So we're gonna use these. The red for the blood is the queen. The Hatter is green, goes down here. And unfortunately, this is one of those parts where if you don't know what you're doing, you're like... Do you guys remember if this was cat or turtle? Actually, just redo it. That was turtle. If you don't know what you're doing, you like really have to like map it out, but luckily I did it before, so we got that. So coming over here, now you can enter into the other part of the hallway, which is great because reasons. Oh, you son of a gun. I never realized, and all the times I played through this, that there were 2 enemies in here. Because you just run over here. But I guess there's 2 enemies. So the weird thing about, like, the thing is it, like, automatically reloads. So I got the basement key. There's 1 more item I need to get.
That's actually, I mean, that's pretty cool, like, when you go through, like, a loading zone and reloads, like, it seems like a natural thing for, like, a player character to do.
And we want to go to...
Yeah, exactly, especially when you're scared. Oh
my
gosh!
Okay, cool.
Jeez.
Wow. I don't ever remember that enemy being placed there, but I'm not going to complain. So we got everything we need.
Wow.
So I unlock this. We're going to go back to the 1st floor because if you remember that door when I was like, oh, I went to the wrong place, it's because I went there a little ahead of time. That's the basement. We're going to be going to the basement.
Why would you go to a basement?
Oh, and just you wait. And there's more.
And you go to a sub-basement. And crawl space. And you're underwater.
So you're pretty much dead on. The thing I like about these doctors and nurses, unless they get you in a corner, they're not like, they don't grab you, which was the main problem we had in the elementary school, was like they just grab at you. Thank you. So in practicing, I had a couple times where I was having pretty difficulty where it would like not load,
Really?
despite this being like a perfect looking disc. So, that was one of the parts where it was just weird and I had to restart. We want these. The thing about this game is, I don't know how many, like, non-handgun bullets there are, but if you want to use, there's scratch marks here, so we want to move this. If you want to move, if you want to fight the bosses without the handgun, like, you really, at the end of the game, don't have too much, so, like, you don't want to be going around being like, I'm going to use the shotgun on these normal enemies.
Right.
So you go here and you notice that there is, there's a hallway under the grate, but there's vines that have grown around this. So this one would be pretty tricky if you didn't know what you're doing. You do have disinfecting alcohol, which we pour on here because
Good old lighter.
what's something that alcohol can do? It can burn. So, Parker...
You just picked that up in a random...
room. Yeah, random room. Both of them in 2 separate random rooms. Now, Parker was correct. There is a sub-basement.
Oh, great.
And it's one of those cool ones where it's, again, I'm letting it load for a second because I had problems with that one. Please. Please. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. This is epic.
It's a sub-basement. Also, the really hard problem with this is, like, you literally cannot tell, like, which doors of those big doors, matter.
What's this?
What's this?
This is pretty key to the story.
Looks like someone's been here.
I don't know how you can tell it's been used recently. Now, you have to come here because to get the key to leave, it's there. So Alessa...
His daughter?
Huh. No one
just
that
some random
matters.
person?
So Alessa probably doesn't matter. Oh, I had to... That was weird. I had to...
Let's
Did
forget
it
about
say
it.
Alessa? Like on the
Yep.
frame?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think this is it. Okay. It's this one, then. No, it's this one, then. Yes.
Thank
Honest. This is not necessary, but it's nice to show for story. You get this videotape here, where and again, I don't believe it's necessary at all for like this there's only 2 things you need to do for the ending, and that's pick up and use that item, and do a side quest near the end. But for some reason, I just feel like this is a thing that you should do, even though it's not like a big key. So on the 3rd floor, there is and it actually really only takes like 2 minutes out of your time. In the 3rd floor, there's a VCR, which we're gonna use.
Oh, no, don't. I don't remember this part.
And it's funny because...
Dun, dun.
Oh, thank you, Based.
And it's funny because nothing is funny.
It's funny because in Silent Hill 2, videotapes and VCRs actually become like a really key plot point. So maybe they gathered some of it from this. Also, I just love how like everything is like terrible, and then you find like a VCR, and it's like okay condition.
And the tape somehow works.
So we're going to room...
Even though it has blood all over it.
This is room 302, which is actually another really big thing when it comes to Silent Hill 2 as well. So maybe they gather, even though Silent Hill 2 is not related to this story at all, maybe they gather a lot from it. So we're gonna watch a videotape. It's just funny how like it's not plugged. Clearly, it's not plugged into anything. And because this is very like punked up, it's hard to really tell what's going on. But clearly someone's talking about someone who's in a lot of, like, trouble. Like an unusual fever, and the skin's weird to the touch.
Almost like a very severe burn.
A what?
And then the VCR seemed broken. It could use it one time. Alright, and we're done with the hospital. We're just going downstairs and getting out of here. So, yeah, again, this is one of those things, if you know what you're doing here, you can fly through it, but my goodness, the first time, you know, you check every door, you fight every bad guy, because it just is what it is. So we go here, and then I believe we go right here. Is there a bad guy in this one? Yes. At this point, I'm sacrificing, and we're done with the hospital. At this point, I'm sacrificing bullets for health, because I have less health than I do bullets, so I'll take my chances.
My favorite.
This is Lisa Garland. She's a nurse, and boy, is she a character.
She's cool.
What is that smile?
Dude.
What?
Dude.
Finally, someone else.
I will say, once again, I did not watch this at all.
There is
My
one
name's Lisa
specific
Garland.
cutscene that's at
What's
some
yours?
point, I don't even know if it's going to be this part, that gave
Harry
me
Mason.
nightmares forever.
Harry,
We will see that next
tell
time.
me what's happening here. Where is everybody? I must have gotten knocked out.
And yeah, the part Trevor's talking
I
about,
came
which
to
again we'll see next
everyone's
part
mom.
near the end, is like honestly nightmare-inducing as an adult. So as a kid, it's
So
you
you
just
don't
upped
know
your
anything.
effing month
right.
up. You're done. Every time you see anyone, you're going to
just
imagine
don't get
this
it.
thing happening.
It's like this is all some kind of bad dream.
And again, that like I don't. Sometimes you like see a game or a movie and you're like, it has
Let me
weird
ask you,
dialogue, but it's
have you
like you're
seen
like,
a little
oh, well, it was
girl
just
around
translated
here?
oddly. Like some FF7 stuff. This stuff is
Short,
like
black
written
hair, 7
oddly.
years
Right.
old.
It's like, I just feel like this is some bad dream. Like, I would walk in and be like, dude, have you seen him? Have you seen? There's like nurses upstairs that are like trying to kill me.
Right.
Like, don't mention anything that's specific.
7-year-old girl.
Just like,
Seven-year-old
this is
girl.
some kind of
A
dream.
7-year-old girl.
I can't say that I have. I was unconscious all this time. I'm sorry.
Huh.
That's alright.
I would also.
That's fine.
I'm also curious to go back when we.
Stuff in the basement?
No? Why? Is there something down there?
This freak.
You don't know?
You
Don't
don't
work
know?
here?
We're under strict orders never to enter the basement building.
That sounds good.
So I really don't know.
I'm curious to see what my time for the hospital from the time I ended Kaufman
No,
to this.
it's
Because I even did some things that were, like, not, like, necessary.
my head.
Because the other day I did it in, like, 15 minutes, and I was pretty proud about that.
Harry, let me help you.
Harry.
Harry?
Harry.
Harry.
Harry. So, whenever you see Lisa,
Was I dreaming?
they find a reason to, like, kick you out of the world.
Late.
Ah, Miss Dahlia's here. Again, I didn't watch any of these cuts.
It's you.
Yes, Dahlia Gillespie.
Hey, girl, what's up? How you doing?
Tell me everything you know. What's going on?
Harry's just such a chill dude. Like, if it was a perfectly sunny day in, like, the mall, right? I was in, like, a very public place, and there was someone talking like that, I'd be like, get away from me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like you, don't talk to me, right? And if they kept talking, if someone was like, darkness is coming,
What
I'd
are
be
you
like,
talking about?
get,
I don't understand a word of it.
security, you know? And he's like, just tell me, and I was like, I believe you. Like, if anyone said any of this stuff,
In this town, that is your destination.
do you know his voice
This
this
is
reminds me of?
beyond my
Like,
abilities.
a
Oh,
more,
what is her arm doing?
a more messed up,
It's a Tootsie Pop.
that Mega Man
Have
Legends,
you not seen the crest marked on the ground
Art girl.
all over town?
Yeah, I can see it.
it's just like they made their voice a little, like, older.
What does it mean?
It is the mark of Samael.
That's just one of those names you just don't ever want to hear.
Let it be completed.
It's a bad name.
Hey, wait!
Dahlia's cool.
The weird thing is that I don't know anything about the actual Samael, but Shin Megami Tensei Samael is like an angel, and it looks really weird, but I just assume it's good.
Alright, so we're going to go to the other church. Now, the one hint that you get, and I want to get out of this spot first.
Dun, dun,
Whoop,
dun, dun,
whoop.
I wasn't worried about that loading, but there's just two dogs right there. So the only hint that you get is that very small cutscene where you see someone entering, and it's tough to see that it says antique. If you look way up there, it says antique, like in like
Green Dragon.
yeah, antique green dragon. Oh, great.
I like that noise.
Oh boy.
God.
When I practiced this game, I did not have the sound on, and let me tell you.
You're like, this game isn't that scary.
So yeah, you really get like very few hints. So you would just walk around and then eventually
Die.
die.
Age.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Dahlia tells you to go to other church, but like, how do you get there?
Actually, this is the one. Yeah, so you just continue up this way for a while. You find that antique shop, which when you get close to it, it changes the camera angle. But my God, you would just walk around for forever.
I hate this noise.
Akira Yamaoka does a really good
I
job.
literally want to hear the radio make that buzz more than this.
Oh my God.
I also have a feeling that the TV's like messing it up to make it sound even
Right,
worse.
make it worse.
That's horrendous.
Actually, no, I don't even know if it changes the camera angle, to be honest with you. It does not. This is the antique shop. So, like, legit.
The door's open.
The door's open, I guess. So, there's going to be a lot of things happening in a short amount of time.
Thank you for stopping that music. That's literally all I